You're listening to a special edition of the Just Go Bike Podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the award-winning podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it, with tales from all over the nation. Come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile.
On this special PreRide edition, we're going to provide you with daily tales from the trail as we ride our bikes across the state of Iowa as a part of RAGBRAI 52.
And we apologize in advance for any background noise. We will be recording live in the wild each episode.
We will be right back.
At First Form, they're more than just supplements. They're built for performance, driven by purpose, and proud to fuel the RAGBRAI journey.
First Form helps real people earn real long-term results on the bike and beyond.
From clean energy to high-protein snacks that actually fuel you, they're here to keep you moving, recovering, and riding strong.
Come find the First Form team out on the route. Let's crush RAGBRAI together.
Now, back to the show.
Well, hello, listeners. We're reporting live from the Winnebago on day 4 of the RAGBRAI Route Inspection Ride. Today, we rode from Forest City to Iowa Falls.
And what a wonderful day. We were all so excited to be on our bikes. We hit the road at 6 a.m. and we're going to tell you a little bit about today. We also have a special guest with us who rode all day and also did a little bit of the gravel loop. And you may recognize her voice because she was just on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So tell us who you are.
I am Erin. I am your RAGBRAI customer service rep agent, whatever you want to call me. And yeah, it was a great day out on the bike.
Well, wait a minute. If you're riding your bike with us all week, who's helping with customer service?
That would still be me.
Yep. We've seen you out with your laptop.
Actually, I have seen you out with your laptop.
Yep.
So
Brought it out.
Yep.
thank you for being here and also doing your day job and having a blast. So before we get into today, we should wrap up about Forest City last night because, wow, that was fun.
Yeah, it was amazing. First of all, Jackie, thank you for all the Chex Mix. I really freaking loved it. So she made huge gallon Ziploc bags of Chex Mix for the riders. So it was awesome.
And a drum line. There were a bunch of students that, what did you think of that, Erin? It was amazing.
Incredible.
I love listening to drums and bands, live bands, like marching bands anyway. But yeah, what did you think?
It was just such a cool performance, and to be coming into town and having them there playing, and I guess they're having their training camp in town right now. And it was just such a talented group of young kids, and
That's
it was
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're very hopeful that they will be doing something like that when RAGBRAI comes through. We also sampled all kinds of treats. The local bakery and then the ice cream shop, what was the flavor you had?
It was the pomegranate swirl from Sweet Emmy Lou's.
Oh,
And I consider myself to be somewhat of an ice cream aficionado. And let me tell you, amazing. Definitely worth adding to your list of things to buy when you're in Forest.
All right.
Love that.
Sweet Emmy Lou's. And then we went to Shooters for dinner with the committee, the Forest City committee. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, everyone is just so fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. Shooters is a RAGBRAI staff favorite that we go to a lot when we travel across the state.
Okay, so I know we don't really talk about the weather on pre-ride because who knows what it'll be like the end of July. But this morning was so beautiful with the sun rising. We were on the road, I don't know, a little after 6 a.m. So it was we were up as the sun was going up, and it was like a fog, like in the fields. I absolutely loved it.
It was stunningly beautiful. It was really difficult not to take my phone out of my pocket and record too much video because it's not safe to do that
Right.
when you're riding in a big group. But I'll not forget it anytime soon.
Right. So then our first stop was...
Before the first stop was the gravel loop. And we
yeah.
have a gravel rider with us today.
Okay, let's
so
hear it.
Did do the gravel. So it rained yesterday, and the dirt this morning on the gravel was just in perfect condition. I think even if it didn't rain, I think this gravel will still be enjoyable for everybody. it was just your old regular gravel, no Class B type of stuff today. It was a good 8-mile stretch of it.
Oh, nice.
A little bit rolly in terms of the hills. I'm riding 700 by 44s. For your tire size, you definitely don't need a tire that thick or as knobby as mine for this gravel, so you'd probably be fine even on like 30s for at least today's section.
So today's section, you know how gravel changes between now and actually when July hits. But would you say this is beginner friendly today?
I would say today was very beginner friendly.
Cool. All right. Well, that's good.
Exciting.
And then, is it Ventura or Ventura? I asked several of the locals, and everybody had a different answer.
Oh,
Some of them said, well, I think it's Ventura, but we always say Ventura. But what did you guys hear?
I've just been saying Ventura like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I don't know.
I don't know, but to be fair, like everyone in my family also says my last name completely different, so I don't blame them for not knowing how to say their town.
Okay, so I'm going to say Ventura, you say Ventura, and hopefully we don't upset anybody. But the best part, I mean, there were so many good things about Ventura, but I absolutely loved going to the Viking ice cream shop.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. Kim is now the owner there, and it sounds like her family used to own it, then it went to some other owners, and she's back, baby.
Yeah, she bought it back.
Yeah, it's been around for over 40 years, and I don't recall what flavor ice cream I had.
I do.
But it had cookie dough chunks on the
Black
top.
raspberry soft serve.
Oh,
See?
my God. It was so good. And she has huge plans for RAGBRAI. You will pedal right past there. And she's going to have a bunch of high school students she's thinking that she may even have a deal where if you want chocolate, you go to this line. If you want, raspberry, you stay here. And she'll have them already prepackaged, really easy and quick. It's so good.
You can tell she's legit because she says that usually on weeknights and weekends, the line goes around the corner.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
People stand outside lining up down the street to get her ice cream. And she moves quick. It's not because she's slow. It's because there's a lot of people trying to get her ice cream.
Because it's that good.
Yes.
And I think she's normally not open today. And she was like, as we were all hanging out eating ice cream, I think people started coming and they were like, oh my God, they're open.
Yeah. So Murph and I also toured the library, which is really neat. It's a beautifully maintained library, and they're going to have all sorts of things there in the library, like free Wi-Fi and charging stations and fruit cups. Definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's really nice in there. And they also have a donation pig, which is a big pig that you could put cash into, and they're going to use it to fund their children's area. The librarian was talking about a magnetic play wall that she really wants to get for the kids, but she doesn't have the funds for yet, so she's trying to raise a little cash.
You're going to know that it's the donation.
Pretty
pig.
remarkable.
And I believe we also made a video that we're going to put on social media.
Yeah, you'll see about it later.
You'll know about the donation pig.
The other thing I'd like to say about Ventura is that they know RAGBRAI Riders. They're excited to have us, and they know them so well that they have doubled the number of porta potties that were recommended because they want to make sure that you have a quick break and are able to get fed and take your bathroom stop and be on your way.
I like that. That's cool.
So then from there, we rolled on to Meservey. Meservey is a beautiful little town. We parked our bikes in a park that I think everything is going to be in during the ride, and it was just really, really nice. We also went to a library there.
And then after, we had egg salad sandwiches, which were so good. I haven't had an egg salad sandwich for a long time.
Yeah, they said that they weren't sure if they were going to serve those on the ride because there's issues with refrigeration.
Right.
But they had some incredible bars.
Oh, yeah.
And
pie.
That little pumpkin cake bread thing with the cream cheese frosting is one of the best desserts I've had in a while.
You know, I just gotta love a pumpkin cake bread thing with cream cheese frosting.
I don't know the names of it. There weren't any signs.
But I also think it was clear that they know their way around a kitchen.
Yes.
So whatever they decide to, move forward with for when we come through RAGBRAI, no problem.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. And from there, we rolled on down to the bar with
Which
Donna.
was Donna's. And Donna has been there for a very long time. There was like an award or a trophy or something behind the bar. And I don't recall, I think it was like a 25-year celebration, but that also took place like another 15 years ago. So she's been in business for a very long time, and she was happy to have us there.
Yeah, it was a great bar. Donna herself served us, and Brent from Bike Tech.
Yeah.
But yes.
Brent helped us out a little bit, yeah.
So then we rolled on, and we're kind of skipping through the parts where we were riding because it was beautifully flat. We had a nice weather for today. I hope you get the exact same for RAGBRAI, but you're not going to encounter a lot of elevation, so we're not really mentioning the route necessarily.
And when there was elevation, it was really nice rollers that we're used to in Iowa.
Yeah.
So
if you are someone who is not experienced with RAGBRAI and you're thinking about doing one day and getting a day pass, I might recommend this day, even though it's kind of long. It's nice and flat, and it's probably good for a beginner rider.
Sure.
And beautiful.
And beautiful.
So beautiful.
Absolutely.
Right.
So from then we went on into Alexander, and Murph and I had a pretty unique photo op out there.
I mean, let's get corny.
Yeah, we were getting corny. That's our theme. And I have no problem with that.
Right.
But we immediately were called over to the big weigh scale that trucks usually drive onto to get weighed. That's not something that people usually ask us to do.
Right. So they had made let's just say a cardboard, like a sculpture, but it was actually a porta potty, and it was Kathy Murphy size.
It was little tiny.
It was like maybe not even quite 5 feet tall. So we had fun with that. And then we found out why that porta potty was on the scale.
That's right. It's because during RAGBRAI, they're going to put their porta potties, like the real thing, on the scale, and they're going to weigh them at the start of RAGBRAI, and then they're going to weigh them at the end of RAGBRAI when they're full, and you're going to be able to guess how much weight was deposited into these porta potties during RAGBRAI.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. Like,
this is the first time I'm hearing of this. And,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is a fun game for sure.
I think it's brilliant, is what I think.
It's so unique and awesome. I mean, just in a little town, they're making their own fun, and I love that spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved the town.
And we stopped in our third library of the day there.
Oh, yeah, that's
so we had another lunch in that library.
Yeah, our third lunch. I think that was our third lunch.
It was great. So I can't wait to come back to Alexander and just see what ends up happening with those porta potties.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure what the prize is for who guesses it. We'll have to leave that a surprise.
I don't even know how to think about that. Like, I don't know how much.
What even unit of measurement are we guessing in?
It's got to be pounds.
Gallons, tons?
No, it's got to be pounds. because of the scale.
Oh, the scale is in pounds.
And they did
the scale's in pounds.
They did say that they were going to turn it around so that you could see the current weight. At all times.
In action.
Yeah.
So you just have to be the last one to guess, and you've got the best chance.
That's right.
Because right now, I don't know, I'd guess 1,000 pounds. Have no idea how
idea.
close that would be.
No idea.
Right.
I would hesitate to hazard a guess.
Yeah.
So from there, we rode on to Latimer. And Latimer had a 1938 fire truck waiting for me.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you, Latimer.
This week has been incredible for AP because, I mean, obviously people are hearing that she has a thing for fire trucks. We've driven in them. You've been honking the siren thingy. I don't know what it's called. Wasn't really.
I've been both honking the horn and using the siren.
Yes, both.
If you want to say it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, and I gotta use the hose on one of them.
Right. Plus, we're getting escorts from them. It's been amazing.
It's a real treat.
We also need to give a shout out to Jess, who I think is still in high school, and she's helping out the volunteer committees with social media. And we had a great conversation with her. And hopefully she tunes into the podcast.
She filled us in on a whole bunch of different things that they're doing as fundraisers for the school. So first of all, their school is called the Cal Community School, and they'll be selling water and pickles. St. Paul's Schools is also doing something, but she's not from that school, so she didn't know exactly what they were doing. And the cheerleaders / student council are going to do things to support the drivers. So drivers who listen in, get your ice from Latimer.
Oh, and I think that's going towards the cheerleaders.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
So, and then they're also going to do a thing where you park your car and then they'll have a little golf cart and they'll be able to shuttle you into town and back, just to save you a little walking. So it's pretty cool. So thanks, Jess, for all that information.
And Scott Sumter, who we all know from Bike Iowa, he actually went to school there. So he gave us a little tour of the parking lot and where he used to play football and soccer and all that good stuff.
Well,
And what is right next to the parking lot
Yeah.
of the school?
tell us.
a little surprise.
Oh, it is a little petting zoo. So there's all types of cute animals, lots of goats, pigs, turkeys, and you're all welcome to go in and pet them. So make sure to do that.
And I think for actual RAGBRAI, they're going to extend the space.
Oh.
That they're going to move it so that there's going to be a lot more space, and they're going to do like photo ops and stuff.
So as you roll out of Latimer, you'll see it right there. It's on your left side, and you'll see the school, and that's just head into the school, and you'll see the petting zoo because you have to stop there. I'm serious.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it will be a small little red barn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from there, it's like not even a little over a mile, and boom, you're in Coulter.
And I really recommend stopping in both places. They were both really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do a thing where you're like, I'll skip one. No, don't do that. Go to both.
Don't do
because
it.
Coulter has right inside of town a really, really cool, not just a freedom rock, but I think they call it a freedom corridor.
Yeah, they did.
Where they have the rock and then at least two other memorials to soldiers and veterans and MIA soldiers. It was just a really special monument.
And they're also going to be selling shirts to celebrate 125 years as a city. But then I think the other side was also about the Freedom Rock. So
Neat.
They're still working on that. Stay tuned. But it's a nice way to help them raise money.
Yeah.
And they'll have a nice wall for you to sign. So they want you to do a photo op with this wall that they hope just to fill with 20,000 RAGBRAI signatures.
It's really cool.
And then they're going to build a building on top of it.
Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah.
are.
So from there, we rolled on in further into town, and they have a really nice park with all sorts of play equipment and a big shelter, and we had cookies.
We had so many snacks there.
Yeah.
Arise and Shine Bakes was there with all kinds of really good homemade goods. Shanlin, I believe is her name, and she just opened her business. So this was like a sneak peek of what we're going to see when RAGBRAI comes through. She also has coffee. So if you're somebody who's an afternoon coffee drinker, she'll be there for us. So
I also spoke to a gentleman whose son, Nate, listened to our podcast, and I'm so sorry, Nate, I forget the name of your team, but shout out to you. He stumped me with a question. Apparently I said something about Coulter that I couldn't remember, so I'm going to come back to you on that one. But shout out to Nate.
and from there, Iowa Falls.
Iowa Falls.
How crazy is that?
And it was a really beautiful ride into Iowa Falls. There's all sorts of flowers everywhere. And of course, they won't be the same flowers during RAGBRAI, but everything's beautifully landscaped. You can see the river. And it's just, and they also have ash sculptures everywhere.
Hauling Ash.
Hauling Ash is their
theme. And they have, right now, it's basically just a 8 foot tall stump of an ash tree, and they are going to make a beautiful sculpture out of it. So
That's right.
I don't know if it'll be happening during RAGBRAI or if it'll be done by the time we get there, but I took a before picture, so we'll do a before and after.
Exciting, yeah. And the story behind that is that they had that between the last time RAGBRAI came through and now, unfortunately, the emerald ash borer arrived in town, and that's a little bug that kills ash trees. So they turned lemons into lemonade, and they made all the different stumps of these trees into sculptures, and you can see them all over town. And I think I've talked about it a little bit on this podcast, but they are so cool, and you kind of have to see them. So
and there is a bike shop here in Iowa Falls that I have a quote that I have to read that we were forced to. Are you ready?
okay, I'm ready.
This says, "Today we visit Iowa Falls, home of RAGBRAI's second best bike shopping, according to Brent Johnson, bike shop PreRide experts." And I did find out the scoop on this, that they are besties.
Oh, okay.
And we know Brent Johnson owns Bike Tech in Cedar Falls, and we'll be there tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So they have kind of a fun banter.
The bike shop here is called Spoken Wheel, and
Yes.
it's owned by Tyler. So
And
shout out.
And we have to give Tyler a shout out because he helped not one, but 2 riders today help fix their bikes so that we can continue riding tomorrow.
It's kind of that point in the week where stuff might go wrong with your bike. So I highly recommend that you keep an eye on your bike, make sure that every night, give it a kind of a check over and make sure that it's functioning correctly.
Yeah. And one of the other highlights that I always enjoy about RAGBRAI is when we cross over Interstate 35.
Yeah.
Because, it's kind of like ceremoniously had the halfway point. So
that's right.
It usually happens after lunch on Wednesday. I can't tell you specifically if the mileage is perfect, but when you pass over Interstate 35, you have that feeling of, wow, we're halfway.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, look, this week has flown by, especially with yesterday. I mean, I'm going to try to milk tomorrow for all it's worth.
Well, Erin, we so appreciate you taking the time to be on the podcast and talk about your perspective.
Well, thank you for having me. I always love being on.
Yeah. And guess what we get to do now?
Eat.
We get to go eat more.
And I can't wait to be back and podcast with you again tomorrow.
Yep. Sounds good. Well, listeners, that's it for today. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to this special pre-ride edition of the award-winning JustGoBike Podcast.
If you'd like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at JustGoBike on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan.
Okay, that's a wrap. We'll be back soon. Until then,
Just go bike!